boys. So today we are finally tackling side stories. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of side stories and stuff that I still don't know about these days, right? You know, like there's so many side stories, y'all, like 400. So we're gonna start today, man. I got recommended this video by community man. Today we got the Fall of LUGUNICA ReZero Cruise Camp side story summary and analysis by our boy AsarathaHS, man. Cruise Camp. Let's get some more lore in, man, about Crusch, bro. I am down. Also, I skipped 10 seconds here in the video because apparently I think there's like some images or something in the beginning that I'm not supposed to see or something. So let's go.
During a much different time than you and I are familiar with, a young boy runs down the hallway of a castle. Not just any boy, but a boy with shining golden hair and large crimson eyes. This boy would in fact be the 9-year-old fourth prince of the family of LUGUNICA, Foryer and Crusch. As he runs from his guide, a green flicker catches his eye just outside of the hallway and further into the garden. As a young Crusch Karsten stands in front of him, he is enamored by everything about her until his guide catches up to him and chases him off the scene. We see—
Okay, I see what y'all mean by 0.9 speed. Why is he talking so fast? Slow down. Slow down. Okay, Foryer. Okay, I see exactly what you mean. Why is he talking so fast? Like, do we actually lower the speed? Like, he is talking a little like fast. Like, you good at it, bro? Okay, hold on. Lock in.
As he runs from his guide, a green flicker catches his eye just outside of the hallway and further into the garden. As a young Crusch Karsten stands in front of him, he is enamored by everything about her until his guide catches up to him and chases him off the scene. We see Foryer alongside someone named Miklatov, a representative of the Sage Council, which essentially functions as an advisory council to the throne, or more specifically, the king, Randahal LUGUNICA. Miklatov was speculated to be the true brains of the kingdom, essentially running the show from behind the scenes. Nevertheless, he now spends a lot of his time personally tutoring and accompanying Foryer. Foryer does not seem particularly interested in being a king. He says to Miklatov that the dragon handles mostly everything in the kingdom, such as its harvests and safety, and he understands that the dragon will only give its blessings to a blood descendant of LUGUNICA, but it's a lot to ask for people born so far down the line of succession from the king who initially made the pact with Volcanica.
Okay.
We learned in Arc 6 that the king who was responsible for forming the covenant between the kingdom and Volcanica was known as Farsail LUGUNICA. Crusch side stories give us a little more insight on him. Every king before the covenant was formed was referred to as the Lion King, and Farsail, due to forming the pact, was considered the last Lion King. As far as Foryer is concerned, there are no more Lion Kings, but Miklatov is onto something we, the reader, might not be. He tells Foryer that the blood has not run thin, and that once every several generations a true master appears. 2 generations ago, and then he cuts himself off. We later see Miklatov asking Foyer's tutor if he is showing any signs of being a Lion King-esque ruler, which the tutor thought nothing of, which then leads directly to Foryer sneaking out every night in disguise to go to the garden to see if he can catch even a glimpse of that green-haired girl again. We begin to understand exactly what makes Foryer capable of being a Lion King as he tumbles off the balcony of the garden. He is a young boy who seems wise beyond his years, someone who never doubted the intuition that guided his actions, as it was as if he could always see the correct option before him. Whether this be a divine protection or something more within the LUGUNICA bloodline is to be seen, as he falls just right off the balcony to essentially take no damage and avoid serious injury, like something out there is looking after him. He lifts his face out of the mud that he landed in to see a young girl brandishing a dagger at him, calling Foryer an intruder. The young girl was by no means mentally equipped to have to defend the castle. Not only was she untrained, but she was also inexperienced. Even Foryer noticed just how hard Crusch was gripping that knife, and how much her arms were shaking. Crusch, even at a young age, felt such a strong obligation to protect the kingdom. Foryer pulls off his hood to defuse the situation and let her know that he is not an intruder, but a prince of the royal family. This, of course, backfires, as Crusch is now ready to accept any punishment, including stabbing herself right here, right now, as
Crusch, it's okay. Like, okay, I know that she's like very passionate about this, but god damn. Yo, chill. Yo, chill. It's not that. Chill, bro. It's okay, bro. God damn, Crusch. Yo, chill, man. It's all good, bro. It happens.
Penance. Foryer looks at the dagger she wields and notices an insignia on it. A crest in the shape of a lion. The lion used to be the crest for LUGUNICA until the time of the Lion King came to an end, and lion iconography was instead adopted by the Karsten family. This girl is the daughter of Megard Karsten, head of the house. Crusch had requested the dagger for her birthday and understands that her tastes are not quite like the other young ladies of the kingdom. This specific line of thinking will be one of the primary themes of the Crusch camp side stories, but we will touch on that more when a certain character gets introduced. As a young girl, Crusch Karsten felt resigned to her fate. The duties of a woman in these medieval fantasy settings are not exactly something Crusch had aimed for. She wants to wield a sword for her kingdom, have a back that people can look towards for comfort, and be a strong ruler. Being born how she was born and the time she was born effectively locks her out of living the life that she truly desires, as she wants to learn the ways of the sword. We cut to darkness as someone lies trapped in a dark, damp basement, forgotten by familial ties due to claims of illegitimacy. Being a bastard was something fairly common in medieval times. It wasn't necessarily accepted, but it was common. What made this situation worse, however, was not that this child locked away from the rest of the world was illegitimate, but also that the child was a demi-human. It's no secret that the world of ReZero holds mighty disdain for people that aren't completely human. So much so is shown by virtue of discriminatory people holding power to this day on the Sage Council. The young boy sat in the dark with almost nothing to perceive in the shadows, just darkness. Even at this young age, he was left to ponder life and death. The boy did not live, and had no reason to live, but at the same time, he had no reason to die. Suddenly, voices were heard outside of the prison until someone with green hair charged into the dark frame. Felix Argyle was saved by Crusch Karsten from his abusive upbringing.
Oh, so that's how... Okay. And that's how Felix was found right there, bro. Okay, I was like trying to like think, like, who are we talking about here? That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And Crusch's divine protection of wind reading told her that Felix was not illegitimate, and research had shown that the beast features present on him are a recessive trait from 4 generations back. Sometime after being rescued, the boy alongside Crusch encounters his parents again. His mother cries out to Felix and apologizes for their treatment of him, but his response to not only the trauma he had faced his entire life, but to his abuser, was that of a quiet, violent rage. As he attempts to stab his mother, but immediately collapses due to the ragged state his neglected, abused body was in. He tries...
Man, that's so sad, bro. Yeah, Felix was pretty much a slave, and why he took him to Crusch. Yeah. Also, obviously, Crusch saved him there, right? Just pure abusive upbringing, like that. Obviously, yeah, that is fucking rough, dude. Holy shit.
Faced his entire life, but to his abuser was that of a quiet, violent rage. As he attempts to stab his mother, but immediately collapses due to the ragged state his neglected, abused body was in. He tries to rise once again and plunges his knife towards his mother, and it does connect, but not on the original target, as Crusch intervenes and takes the knife for Hannah Argyle. As Crusch lay there dying, Felix feels immense inner turmoil. He has now stabbed the only person in his life that has looked out for him and embraced.
Whoa! This is getting crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, that definitely escalated very quickly. God damn, bro. He went through so much to the point where he was willing to stab his own mother, and Crusch took the hit, bro.
Embraces her body and begins to utilize the trait that runs in the Argyle family, their immense healing capabilities.
So it's like, okay, so the Argyle family stuff, so it's like actual like passing down type of abilities, like capabilities. Like it just runs in the family to like this crazy healing ability shit, huh? He basically awakened here, which is kind of funny, bro. It reminds me of like some it's funny. It's like some like Dragon Ball shit, bro. Like someone like gets like a very close person to you gets hurt, or like someone like dies, and like you just like fucking awaken, bro. You just fucking rage. The fucking rage just comes out, bro. You just fucking get stronger or some shit, bro. That's crazy. Okay.
After a short time jump and a promise about the kind of man Felix wants to become, he begins to feel at odds with his own identity. When he thinks of the man he vowed to become, he envisions a figure much different than the malnourished, lanky version of himself that he sees in a mirror. He has obtained no sword skill, his feeble body not being strong enough to act, and he feels utterly useless attempting to reach his goal of being a knight. Crusch reassures Felix that being a knight is not just about the strength of one's sword, but a person's will. The will.
I like that, and that's why now, at the end of the day, right? Listen, like that's and why in the royal selection, bro. That's why he's there now, bro. It's not really just about like strength. It's not really just about strength, bro. Like we know, like now that like being a knight isn't really just like solely based on strength. Hey, we can use an example right now, bro. My goat Subaru, bro. Hey, it's not all about strength and like being like ranked 1 knight to be like actual like, you know, like not ranked 1 knight, like ranked 1 like strength and shit, bro, to be a knight, bro. It's not really just about that, bro.
To protect others and the injured,
yes.
Something Felix and his magical capabilities make him very able to do. Crusch also vents her frustrations of her position in the kingdom. She feels confused being rebuked by the people of LUGUNICA for being a woman who holds a sword and is training to be a great fighter, but on the other hand is told to master things that typically a man should master to succeed a duke. What do they want from her? This side story introduces the crux of the Crusch and Felix dynamic. Gender identity. Crusch is a woman who doesn't necessarily have a problem being a woman, but wants to engage in activities that are perceived to be more masculine, something that obviously doesn't fly in this time period, such as wielding a blade or handling crime or even wearing men's clothes. Felix is a man who suffered from body dysmorphia and now opts to take up the mantle of being a woman from Crusch so that she has more time to focus on being who she wants to be. They both
The gender identities theme here, very important. I never thought of it that way either. He took the mantle of being a woman from Crusch so that she can like focus more on like the other stuff. Damn, it's like, that's crazy. Yeah, he gets a lot of slander, but like on a real note, this I respect it, bro. Damn, he's like, bro, he pretty much said like, yo, I'll take this role so you can follow what you really want, and it's like being a knight. That is crazy.
Has more time to focus on being who she wants to be. They both aren't necessarily transgender in that they identify as the opposite gender. However, a case could definitely be made for Felix as he starts chanting later on in EX1 that he is a girl in a mirror, but they are most certainly at the very least gender non-conforming. This term or concept is what informs quite a lot about their respective characters. Okay. Foryer stops by later on and sees Felix getting comfortable wearing feminine clothing, and he overhears that Crusch is going to stop outwardly presenting as a woman, and he demands that not be the case. Crusch bites back that it is not his place to judge what she is, and this reveals an underlying conflict throughout all of the Crusch camp side stories. Crusch's fight to present how she wants. It's present in Foryer early on, her family, the people of the kingdom, and many others as they question her decisions. Foryer challenges Crusch to a sword fight, and if he wins, she must go back to dressing as a woman and to prove Crusch's ambition. And of course—
What? What kind of fighter? Yeah, motherfucker? We're fighting to go back to dressing as a woman, bro? That ass, bro? That's funny.
And to prove Crusch's ambition. And of course, he gets his ass kicked. He promises to leave her be until he beats her in combat.
Damn.
And we now know where the nickname Felix gets comes from.
Wait, let me go back. What? Bro, he got cooked.
Must go back to dressing as a woman and to prove Crusch's ambition. And of course, he gets his ass kicked. He promises to leave her be until he beats her in combat. And we now know where the nickname Felix gets comes from, as Foryer refers to him as Ferris, a name he shouted out boldly and proudly, to which Crusch adopts due to Felix's gender presentation.
Oh, there it is. Ferris. There it fucking is. Holy lore. What? Holy fucking lore?
Moving forward to another side story, and Foryer wants Ferris to learn some healing tricks from some of the highly trained and skilled healers in the royal capital. Ferris is initially skeptical of this due to the prospect of leaving Crusch's side, but Crusch thinks it would be good for him to go out into the world and learn, and so Foryer and Ferris make their way to the capital. Main problem is, Bordeaux is on his way to the capital at the same time, and Jesus Christ is he racist. The other healers in the court scoff at the mere idea of a demi-human training amongst them, being yet another extrapolation on how racist LUGUNICA's roots still are. Ferris's capital teacher, Gaelic, shows Ferris that sometimes relying on healing magic is not the option. Sometimes it's better to perform first aid for smaller scale injuries to conserve mana in case something goes really wrong. Bordeaux arrives at the capital, and obviously this frightens Ferris, as believe it or not, people don't like it when a racism is done at them. Foryer boldly sticks his head into the situation, using his status as a prince of LUGUNICA to acquaint Ferris and Bordeaux, and bust his racist balls, scolding him for his demi-human discrimination. Bordeaux vows not to be racist to Ferris solely because nobility approves of him, so he's basically a flaming piece of shit.
Fucking asshole. Fucking bitch. Yo, W Foryer, bro. Foryer, bro. Yo. Yo, cause like that is crazy, bro. That is some crazy ass shit, bro. Holy fuck.
Ferris asks Foryer why he did that, and he says because it is a man's duty to protect a woman. The feeling of missing the person standing by your side isn't just something that Ferris feels while out at the capital, but Crusch is said to be acting strangely, not eating as much or paying as much attention to her studies. Mechart, her father, steps in to confront her on why she has been acting so differently, and deduces she is depressed that Ferris isn't around while he trains in the capital. Mechart, in a shocking display of a father in ReZero not being an utter failure, takes Crusch to the capital to see Ferris. What's even sweeter is that when Foryer, Crusch, and Mechart finally do see that Ferris is okay at the capital, Crusch decides to not interrupt his work, and they head back, with Crusch finally back in high spirits.
Okay.
It very well demonstrates just how close these two are. In a story that is not yet translated, thank you to Gourmet of Gluttony for giving me the spark notes, we see a glimpse of Ferris training at the royal capital. Gaelic decides to show him that sometimes healing magic is powerless, as he takes him to Luana, Heinkel's wife, who is suffering from an unknown ailment that is
What? Go back. What the fuck? What the fuck? What I mentioned? Son, I'm gonna fucking wait. This is crazy. The lore. What?
glimpse of Ferris training at the royal capital. Gaelic decides to show
Also, W Gaelic? W fucking Gaelic?
that sometimes healing magic is powerless, as he takes him to Luana, Heinkel's wife, who is suffering from an unknown ailment that is causing her to sleep with no changes to her body. Interesting. Ferris is unable to help Luana's condition as Heinkel Estrella watches him and drinks his life away. He is very abusive to Gaelic, as he also attempts to help Luana, and we get a glimpse into the bastard that we got to know in Arc 5 as he sleeps on the floor next to his wife every single night. Gaelic ends up being murdered by one of his former students, and Heinkel begins to lash out and beat himself up for being so cool at Gaelic. 5 as he sleeps on the floor next to his wife every single night. Gaelic ends up being murdered by one of his former students, and Heinkel begins to lash out and beat himself up for being so cool at Gaelic before his passing. Ferris notices this and points it out, but all it accomplishes is Heinkel's abuse being directed towards him. Gaelic's murderer is then crushed by an infuriated Marcos, and Roswell says that a teacher's death is something which their student should avenge. Jumping forward,
damn, bro! Why are we going so fast? Gaelic just gets packed up! Yo, we're going so fucking fast, man. Yo, let me process this shit. God damn, bro. Oh my god. Yo, shout out to Gaelic though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yo, shout out to Gaelic for training Felix here, bro. Bro, he showed up and died instantly. My god. Okay, we're going fast, bro. Jesus Christ. Just so you know, the video's in 0.9 speed, bro. It's not even like normal speed, bro. Holy shit.
This is Heinkel's abuse being directed towards him. Gaelic's murderer is then crushed by an infuriated Marcos, and Roswell says that a teacher's death is something which their student should avenge. Jumping forward many years, Ferris is back, and Foryer is being match-made with someone much to his dismay, as Crusch and Ferris try to talk him down from his panic state. Ferris is of course not stupid and is quite aware that Foryer is questing for Crusch, as Foryer is being match-made with a 19-year-old archbishop from Gestaco, a nation covered in snow with a famous religious outlook born of the harsh conditions. An archbishop in Gestaco is also noted to be about as important as being on the council in LUGUNICA.
Not gonna lie, as soon as I heard archbishop, I was like, what? I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I heard archbishop, I was like, what? Excuse me? No, this is completely different. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Echo, a nation covered in snow with a famous religious outlook born of the harsh conditions. An archbishop in Gestaco is also noted to be about as important as being on the council in LUGUNICA, so this marriage would form quite strong political ties. Ferris thinks about his love and admiration for Crusch, but also his deep affection and respect for Foryer, even if it means damning himself to not having a place to belong. Even if it means isolating himself and being a third wheel, he wants to see them happy together. On the same day as Foyer's matchmaking, Crusch was summoned to the palace by Miklatov, so she is unable to attend or help plan to sabotage the matchmaking with Ferris and Foryer. However, she does throw an idea which the two happily latch onto. The matchmaking is being held in a place next to the border of Gestaco by a man named Viscount Messire, who found the disruption plan amusing as he allegedly doesn't like the Gestaco people. In the plan, plan, Ferris takes the place of Crusch, bursting into the meeting room and saying he cannot allow the matchmaking to continue. Tyrina, the one who was supposed to wed Foryer, notes the closeness of Ferris and Foryer despite the demi-human war, as Foryer boldly proclaims that in friendship and love, he pays no mind to birth or species. One loves whom one loves, as Tyrina accepts what she sees, and Ferris figures out that Viscount was only okay with the sabotage because he is the one that's in love with Tyrina. After the meeting...
What? Okay. Alright, sure. I guess that fucking works, man. Fucking hell. Dude, okay, I will say, I'm catching everything, but like, bro, can somebody tell me why? Okay, why is the chat saying new baddie? Rob, why are you saying new baddie, bro? I will say, this video is very fast paced. Okay? I'm not like, I understand what's going on, but like, it's like, I don't have, it's not, the story is so fast. Like, I'm not like getting like, you know, like the full like experience of the story. So, you know, it just goes to show that I gotta read this shit by myself, bro. I ain't gonna lie, right? It's very fast paced for sure, but we're getting an idea of like the side story stuff and like the past stuff, so it works, right? But yeah, all the bits are fast paced. Yeah, I can. Jesus. All right, let's go.
One loves whom one loves, as Tyrina accepts what she sees, and Ferris figures out that Viscount was only okay with the sabotage because he is the one that's in love with Tyrina. After the meeting, Foryer gets into the dragon carriage and commands Ferris to leave him alone, and Ferris begins to feel a distance growing between the two, and that their relationship has been damaged forever until they meet up again in the castle with Crusch, as he believes the sky is falling, because everyone in the kingdom now believes he is only attracted to men, as Crusch and Ferris tease him about his relationship with Ferris, and his anxieties are washed away. We see
it's kind of funny. It's pretty funny. Oh my god.
Crusch, as he believes the sky is falling, because everyone in the kingdom now believes he is only attracted to men, as Crusch and Ferris tease him about his relationship with Ferris, and his
the prince is gay. That's funny as hell.
Anxieties are washed away. We see Ferris telling himself in the mirror that he is a girl, a mantra that has seemingly led him to never developing secondary sexual characteristics, as if it is an actual spell of some sorts. Since he still seems comfortable and fine being referred to with he/him pronouns and his legal name, this is interesting to say the least. Crusch gets in trouble with Mechart because she stops some pirates from attacking a carriage, and this led to Ferris being upset with Mechart, but Crusch didn't really care. Being punished for doing things outside of her perceived gender norms was ironically the norm for her. Mechart speaks with Ferris one-on-one and tells him he wants Crusch to wear a dress for her upcoming birthday, as she has obligations as the child of a duke. However, he also feels wrong for pressuring his daughter to wear and do things she doesn't want to do. Ferris battles with the knowledge he holds, fearing Crusch's reaction to what her father told him, until Foryer bursts in and challenges Crusch to another sword duel to prove his manliness and make her wear a dress.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Alright, let's fight again, bro. Yeah.
Manages to actually
W dad though, for sure. Yeah, W dad, bro. Like, pretty much like, you know? Like, he doesn't like really want to like make her feel like she's forced either, so you know, I respect it, bro.
Things she doesn't want to do. Ferris battles with the knowledge he holds, fearing Crusch's reaction to what her father told him, until Foryer bursts in and challenges Crusch to another sword duel to prove his manliness and make her wear a dress. He manages to actually catch Crusch off guard and, just barely, and by a technicality, wins the duel, meaning Crusch will in fact be wearing a dress to her birthday.
Well, damn! Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, he won. Wow! He actually fucking won. Huh. I thought he was gonna lose again. GG, yeah, GG, I guess. I didn't think Foryer was gonna win that. Okay.
Foryer, while being a good guy and a fun character to read, still represents the rigidity of traditional gender norms, barely eking out a win and having Crusch kowtow to popular demand. On the day of Crusch's birthday, however, the Great Rabbit appears in a nearby village. Mechart still represents the rigidity of traditional gender norms, barely eking out a win and having Crusch kowtow to popular demand. On the day of Crusch's birthday, however, the Great Rabbit appears in a nearby village. Mechart decides to lead the charge against the beast and asks Ferris to keep it a secret so that Crusch's birthday may continue on. Ferris later on talks with Foryer, and Ferris has a very—
Brother, that was so out of nowhere. The Great Rabbit pulled up? Yeah, he threw a fucking grenade. Yo, bro. Bro. My God. Bro. Yo.
Great Rabbit appears in a nearby village. Mechart decides to lead the charge against the beast and asks Ferris to keep it a secret so that Crusch's birthday may continue on.
Yeah, keep it a secret so the whole birthday thing goes on. Yeah, yo, let us breathe, bro. That was so out of nowhere, bro. Yeah, yo, Asaratha, yo, chill, bro. Take a breather, bro. Why are we going so fast?
Ferris later on talks with Foryer, and Ferris has a very interesting inner monologue, where Ferris thinks of Foryer as the sun in the sky, whereas Crusch is the wind, the invisible breeze that blew past the sun and through the sky. He wonders what that makes him, and wishes to at least be a cloud that is carried through the sky by that wind. This, in my opinion, is an example of Ferris downplaying his own importance in the trio, and he is not something as simple as a cloud. If Foryer is the sun and Crusch is the wind, then Ferris could be exactly what the color of his healing magic represents, the blue sky. The sky containing the sun and hosting the wind that flows through. Foryer and Ferris share a dance and it's awfully cute, until Crusch finds out about the Great Rabbit and immediately rushes to act because she really is that girl, but then says she mustn't do what is right, but instead do what is Crusch Karsten, and attend both the battlefield and the birthday party. Foryer calls Ferris her knight, and when he objects, saying that he can't even hold a sword, Crusch tells him he doesn't need to because she will do it for him. She decimates what part of the Great Rabbit lies nearby and returns to the birthday party in her dress.
Oh, she is built different. She went to the battlefield. She took care of business and said, "All right, we back. Let's continue." Yeah, probably like a couple bunnies, right? Wow. Also, yes, Crusch said pretty much take the sword for you, Ferris, as well. Yes, there's a lot going on, bro. yo, so much is going on. But yes, that also too, right? The whole taking the sword for him as well, bro. My God, okay.
But and immediately rushes to act because she really is that girl, but then says she mustn't do what is right, but instead do what is Crusch Karsten, and attend both the battlefield and the birthday party. Foryer calls Ferris her knight, and when he objects, saying that he can't even hold a sword, Crusch tells him he doesn't need to because she will do it for him.
I like that. That's tough.
She decimates what part of the Great Rabbit lies nearby and returns to the birthday party in her dress, seemingly being perfectly fine presenting as a woman for this party. Crusch is once again punished for going against her father's wishes, but she's glad she did it, as she returns back to wearing men's clothes. She did it because it felt like she was being herself. 6 months after this fun and wholesome birthday party, Mechart would fall too frail to continue being Duke, and in his place, Crusch Karsten would rise to become Duchess.
Ooh, there it is. There it is, boys.
And she would become far too busy for the wholesome times of old.
Yeah, now she's also gonna be like very busy, huh? Damn.
The Royal Guard stands at the top of the kingdom, being the idols of every knight in LUGUNICA. They are the most elite of the 2,000 knights of the realm, and you must be permitted to join. Naturally, Ferris holds a conversation with Julius and Reinhardt about his entry into the Royal Guard by recommendation of Foryer, as well.
Okay, whoa, 2,000. Okay, no. Wait a damn minute. How many shadows could tell us? No, I'm thinking too deep into it. No. 2,000. 2,000, huh? Nah, let me go back. Hold on, let me lock in.
Crusch Karsten would rise to become Duchess, and she would become far too busy for the wholesome times of old.
Am I going schizo? 2,000, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
The Royal
2,000 knights is only 3 of them do anything. That's true. What happened to the other knights? Okay, Chad, I know I'm going crazy. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm just calm down, Chad. I don't actually mean it. Okay. I just found it funny. All right.
Guard stands at the top of the kingdom, being the idols of every knight in LUGUNICA. They are the most elite of the 2,000 knights of the realm, and you must be permitted to join. Naturally, Ferris holds a conversation with Julius and Reinhard about his entry into the Royal Guard by recommendation of Foryer, as well as the other healers at the capital. Reinhard hopes that Ferris's abilities weren't exaggerated by the young prince and others to get him to this role of the Royal Guard. Ferris speaks about how he wants to become Crusch's official knight, but due to his lack of history, feared the rumors that would spread due to her already sultry reputation. After being admitted to the Royal Guard, Ferris finds that the duties of a knight are usually
What? Minecraft? Why? You look like a Minecraft skin. Yo, what the fuck? Okay.
feared the rumors that would spread due to her already sultry reputation. After being admitted to the Royal Guard, Ferris finds that the duties of a knight are usually quite boring after sitting around for a few days. He spends most of his time with Julius and Reinhard, and interesting enough, Reinhard is even capable of avoiding Ferris's heightened demi-human senses. Ferris is called by Foryer, and Julius accompanies him. Reinhard does not go with them because he was called to a mission on the border of the Empire. Ferris and Julius get to discussing the history between him and Reinhard, and Julius says that he met him 10 years ago, but it wasn't until they both became knights that they became friends. Reinhard was special to Julius, being essentially the peak of knightlyhood, but Reinhard never even thought about him until they became friends. They meet up with Foryer, and Julius, in all of his simplyhood, is slightly annoyed by Ferris bantering with the prince. Foryer reveals that he called Ferris here to discuss issues within the Karsten domain, specifically the House of Argyle. Ferris's father, and I shit you not, this is his name, Bean, has been inviting a potential
Why is that so funny? Why is that so funny to me? I think it's the way that the Asa. Why? What did Asa say that shit, bro? Like that? I shit you not. No, I don't know why it was so funny to me. My bad. I don't know why it was so funny to me. I don't know why it tickled me so hard.
Issues within the Karsten domain, specifically the
Bean.
House of Argyle. Ferris's father, and I shit you not, this is his name, Bean, has been inviting a potential slaver into his home for several months. Officially, the Kingdom of LUGUNICA didn't have slaves, and anyone who worked was to be compensated.
Whoa, this got serious. We inviting slaves? Whoa, hey, yo.
So on paper, slavery did not exist under the laws of the kingdom. So naturally, the House of Argyle would be committing a grand crime by participating in the slave trade. It's also revealed that they weren't selling
Bro, I was just laughing. Bro, we were having a good time with the... Everybody lock in. What? Okay.
Not. This is his name.
Bean. Okay.
Has been inviting a potential slaver into his home for several months. Officially, the Kingdom of LUGUNICA didn't have slaves, and anyone who worked was to be compensated. So on paper, slavery did not exist under the laws of the kingdom. So naturally, the House of Argyle would be committing a grand crime by participating in the slave trade. It's also revealed that they weren't selling slaves, but they are in fact buying every slave they can get their hands on. We learned that the decline of the House of Argyle began 9 years ago when Ferris was discovered in the dark basement in that ragged state, and the House of Karsten had meted out justice in his name. The reason Foryer knows all of this is because Crusch told him about it, and asked him to be a friendly face to Ferris as he is in his year-long probation of being a Royal Guard member, and as Crusch goes to confront the House of Argyle for dealing with the slave trade. At the same time, Foryer begins to cough and has a bit of heartburn. Crusch arrives at Bean's house and notices the years have been cruel to him and his family. They have lost essentially everything after the uncovering.
Huh. That is definitely a look. Holy fuck. What the fuck? Okay.
Notices the years have been cruel to him and his family. They have lost essentially everything after the uncovering of the treatment of their child, and she meets with the alleged slave trader, Miles. She is offered tea but naturally declines it, and asks to inspect Miles' wares to investigate the claims of slave trading. Unfortunately for her, the tea was in fact the antidote to the toxin in the air that makes her collapse. Bean grabs hold of her and says that he wants Ferris back. And we cut back to Ferris, who was enraged that Foryer let Crusch go alone to the House of Argyle. Crusch was locked in the very basement she had saved Ferris from, chained and blindfolded, as Bean replicates some of the effects of a spell known as the Sacrament of the Immortal King, an extraordinary...
Why does that seem so familiar? Wait. What? Wait. Am I tweaking? Sacrament of the Immortal King. Is that Theresia? Okay. I'm not tweaking. I'm not tweaking. Okay. Damn, it's because the fucking... It's like Grim Reaper... It's like... Kurgan and... Yeah, the fucking, why did I say Grim Reaper? No, the Sphinx, bro. The Sphinx spell, right? The curse, bro. That's what I associated with, bro. I thought I was tweaking it. I was tweaking a little bit. I was like, wait, Sacrament of the Immortal King. Yeah, my bad. It's just like the names. The names are like... There's so many fucking names, bro. You can like use like so many different names for like the things, but okay.
House of Argyle. Crusch was locked in the very basement she had saved Ferris from, chained and blindfolded, as Bean replicates some of the effects of a spell known as the Sacrament of the Immortal King, an extraordinarily powerful spell, which most of it has been lost to time, but it allows the caster to utilize the dead, something we also see in Arc 5. This also serves as a revelation that they are not, in fact, engaging in the slave trade, but are buying corpses. Ferris and...
That is fucking insane. They're buying corpses and then they use the Sacrament of the Immortal King to bring them back to... That is fucking insane.
Foryer arrive at the house, but it will still take a few hours for forces to arrive to crush the enemies that are here. Bean has a letter delivered to them that states his demands for Ferris to enter the house, which Ferris accepts and is guided in by the housemaid. Bean is confused why Ferris is wearing women's clothes and says that hopefully Karsten's perverse views on gender haven't rubbed off on him. Okay. Ferris lashes out at his father, pointing to his own weak stature that Bean himself had caused, enraged that his father took away the opportunity of physically protecting Crusch from him, which Bean pays no mind and begins to talk about Ferris's aptitude for water magic, a sign that he is truly his legitimate child. Bean brings Ferris to the master bedroom, where his dead wife lies. Bean is fucking insane, praising Ferris for being the best son while harming himself and healing himself at the same time.
You're going so fucking fast, bro!
Bean brings Ferris to the master bedroom, where his dead wife lies. Bean is fucking insane, praising Ferris for being the best son while harming himself and healing himself at the same time, asking Ferris to use the blessed sacrament to revive his wife. Using this spell brings me back to how highly Subaru thinks of the concept of death, and how much rage the idea of mocking it brought him. Ferris begins to pour mana through his dead mother, and notices her cause of death, asking his father who was it who stabbed her to death. Downstairs, Miles talks with Crusch and speaks about how he's not particularly in line with Bean's goals, and wants to negotiate safe passage back to Wallachia to disengage from the scenario. He threatens Ferris to attempt to make his deal sound better, but Crusch frees herself from her binds and immediately dispatches the undead surrounding her, almost killing Miles in an instant as well, as he flees the house. Ferris casts the spell and brings his mother back, whose first action post-resurrection is to kill the man who murdered her. As the light fades from his eyes, Hannah Argyle also turns to dust. Bean's plan was to lure Ferris back in, have him revive Hannah, and then set the house ablaze to kill the entire family together.
This motherfucker is absolutely fucking insane. Fucking Bean. Yo, Bean, what the fuck? Bro, he was about to set everything on fire and just kill everyone there, bro.
As the light fades from his eyes, Hannah Argyle also turns to dust. Bean's plan was to lure Ferris back in, have him revive Hannah, and then set the house ablaze to kill the entire family together.
Bro.
And with their deaths, the house does catch fire. The maid reveals that she is the one who unlocked Crusch's cuffs in the basement, and is heavily implied to be Ferris's real mother, as Ferris and Crusch flee the home.
What?
With their deaths, the house does catch fire. The maid reveals that she is the one who unlocked Crusch's cuffs in the basement.
She did that?
And is heavily implied to be Ferris's real mother.
What the fuck is happening? Yo, the maid is the real mother. Son, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, the maid was the mom. Implied, he says. Felix asked the maid why she stayed, and she said something on the lines of love, if I remember correctly. Oh. Yeah. The maid was the mom. Bro, there's like 20 different plot twists every couple seconds, bro. Yo. This is fucking... okay.
As Ferris and Crusch flee the home. Miles is attempting to escape, gravely wounded, but his dragon flies over his head and the rider calls down to him. People in LUGUNICA shouldn't be able to ride dragons. That's just a Velakian thing. But unfortunately for him, his opponent is of course Reinhard, who kills both Miles and his dragon.
Can you give me a fucking second? Can you give me a fucking second? Yeah, so they were flying. Reinhardt said / game mode 1 / creative mode, bro. And he just went up there, bro. Let us breathe. That's...
calls down to him. People in LUGUNICA shouldn't be able to ride dragons. That's just a Velakian thing. But unfortunately for him, his opponent is of course Reinhard, who kills both Miles and his dragon. Inside of Foyer's dragon carriage, he speculates that the Valakians were attempting to grab the Argyle spell to control undead warriors. And as they celebrate the victory at the House of Argyle, Foryer steps out of the carriage, but something isn't right.
Something isn't right? Oh god, okay, let me lock it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like make... I'm sorry if I'm like rewinding a lot. I'm just trying to make sure I catch it. I'm sorry, it's just... By the way, this is 0.9 speed, by the way. This is 0.9 speed.
Were attempting to grab the Argyle spell to control undead warriors. And as they celebrate the victory at the House of Argyle, Foryer steps out of the carriage, but something isn't right. His vision starts to blur. He begins to lose his footing as he collapses to the ground.
Oh!
It's not just Foryer either. Every single member of the royal family has fallen ill. The wide-scale downfall of the LUGUNICA family means that Foyer's illness is not even newsworthy in the kingdom. As we jump forward an entire year, even Ferris, who is second to none in curing illness, cannot fix what is plaguing the royal family.
There it is. There's the fucking the illness. There it is. The fucking royal family illness. The fucking disease, bro, that they were talking about, bro. Yeah, Foryer was goated, bro. Yeah. There it is, bro. Or curse. Yeah, that too, right? That is fucking... That's just so out of nowhere, too. Like... Yeah, Subaru shut up after this. True. Theories Capella has something to do with it? Could be some Capella shit, bro. That is crazy.
The family means that Foyer's illness is not even newsworthy in the kingdom. As we jump forward...
Oh, that's fucked. Wait, what?
Foryer either. Every single member of the royal family has fallen ill. The wide-scale downfall of the LUGUNICA family means that Foyer's illness is not even newsworthy in the kingdom. As we jump forward an entire year, even Ferris, who is second to none in curing illness, cannot fix what is plaguing the royal family. And Crusch has been too busy with the duties of a duke to come see Foryer, which pains the entire trio. We get the first royal death to this unknown disease as the first Prince Isabel dies, and shortly after, Crusch finally gets the time to meet Foryer, who was clearly in rough shape. We learn that the Argyle incident was covered up by the kingdom so that Ferris could inherit the Argyle name with no issues. And later on...
That's why he was able to inherit that shit. Okay.
disease as the first Prince Isabel dies, and shortly after, Crusch finally gets the time to meet Foryer, who was clearly in rough shape. We learn that the Argyle incident was covered up by the kingdom so that Ferris could inherit the Argyle name with no issues. And later on, Foryer thanks Ferris for the makeup to make him look better, which is saying something because he still looks really, really bad. Foryer and Ferris get to talking, and as Ferris is about to say that if Foryer succumbs to this illness, he will use the blessed sacrament of the Immortal King to bring him back. But before he can finish, Foryer cuts in and tells him no. His life begins when it began, and it will end when it ends. He reassures Ferris to not count the wounds he couldn't heal, but the things he was able to save. Don't try to look back all the time while you're walking forward. These are especially heartfelt words considering Ferris' encounter with his father just over a year ago, fixated on the hatred of his family and how they have robbed him from being a protector for Crusch. Instead, Ferris should only look forwards towards his future as a gifted healer, and he should touch as many lives as he possibly can. While Subaru's parents' words would inspire him to this day and push him forward, Ferris' family acted as an anchor around his neck and made him anguish over what could have been. Ferris speaks with Crusch and blames his own weakness on why he can't solve Foyer's illness. We also get an idea of what caused it. This was mentioned a single time in this Arc 4 interlude and was never mentioned ever again, even though this seems like a huge deal, but Ferris straight up says that the illness is from the Black Serpent's venom. The narrative paid this almost no mind, but this almost seems like a mass... Crusch and blames his own weakness on why he can't solve Foyer's illness. We also get an idea of what caused it. This was mentioned a single time in this Arc 4 interlude and was never mentioned ever again, even though this seems like a huge deal, but Ferris straight up says that the illness is from the Black Serpent's venom. The narrative paid this almost no mind, but this almost seems like a massive revelation.
What? Okay. Before I even, like, get too ahead of myself, yes, it is just a conjecture of what could have been the cause. True, what could have been. Let me read this shit, bro. Ferris says, yes, it's the same as the previous diagnosis, although as a healer, I don't want to say this lightly. Ferris lowered both his voice and head, but continued to speak without hesitation. Ferris, it is the poison of the black snake. The cause, such a mysterious illness, could only be from the creature we don't know anything about. See? See? Crusch, if so, then where it... Let me get rid of this. Dismiss. Crusch, if so, then where is it now? No, the situation at hand is more pressing. What will happen from here on? Ferris, the worst case scenario is the death of the entire royal family. The tarot card I sent you a Pandora? I do remember. Let me actually. I don't think I have it like here, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I need to like. I look, you need to save that shit to like have it like here, like instantly. But yeah, So if this is just like, so this is just like what they think, right? Like Ferris says here, the cause of such a mysterious illness could only be from a creature we don't know anything about. He's just assuming. So it could be, but it's not confirmed. Okay, that's still a crazy revelation though to really think about. Okay, that's still something though. It's still something, but yeah, it's never that simple in ReZero. Welcome to fucking ReZero type shit. Like, it's not as simple as, oh, it's the Black Serpent, because it's not confirmed. It's just some shit where he goes, what else would it be? So it's probably something else, right? So yeah. Pandora did this. Pandora took the venom and injected the royal family with snake AIDS. All roads lead back to Pandora, huh? All roads lead to Pandora.
Even though this seems like a huge deal, but Ferris straight up says that the illness is from the Black Serpent's venom. The narrative paid this almost no mind, but this almost seems like a massive revelation. I don't know if I misread this, but like, I don't know, here it is. As Crusch and Ferris exit the castle, they see Bordeaux and an old man having a heated conversation. The old man yells out to Bordeaux as he walks away, supposedly after breaking a vow between the two of them. The old man pleads with Bordeaux, pulling out some papers from his coat, to which he slaps them out of his hand, and the two almost get into a fight until the guards arrive and arrest the old man. Bordeaux and the man seemingly have history, and he refuses to have him imprisoned, but he says that he should be, to which Bordeaux concedes just 1 day in the cell. Crusch is awestruck by what had occurred, and Ferris notes her interest in the man, and slips her one of the papers that had been slapped out of his hand. Crusch then meets with the old man in the jail and tells him that she read his secret report. He apologizes for the behavior he demonstrated outside, and that a cool dungeon has cooled his head, but Crusch's divine protection tells her that an invisible rage brews within this old man. The paper she had taken contains a summary of the White Whale's appearances in Gustaco, Wallachia, Kararagi, and several small countries.
Holy fucking info? Bro just has this?
Including the date and time of the beast's appearance and disappearance. She notes that he has the intent to slay the White Whale.
Oh wait, this is just Will. My bad. I was like, wait, yeah, Will. I forgot that was mentioned. I forgot that was mentioned by was this someone in the comment section? That's why I felt so. Did someone tell me this in the comment section, or was it Twitch chat? I swear I remember someone telling me this. It's Will. Was this a bud? Like because like oh, it was so, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Literally, wait, this is literally what he told me. Yeah, this is like the entire fucking, yeah, that's literally what he told me. Wow. That's why I was like, listen to this. I was like, why does this sound so familiar? Yeah. So, buddy, you told me about this, bro. Like in the chat, bro.
Appearances in Gustaco, Wallachia, Kararagi, and several small countries, including the date and time of the beast's appearance and disappearance. She notes that he has the intent to slay the White Whale, as there is no way someone would throw away their sword and escape, right? This feels like a comment on herself, a person who never had the desire to throw her sword out despite all the public pressure she had faced to do so. If the appearance in Wallachia is confirmed, then the White Whale will appear in LUGUNICA in 6 months' time. They go their separate ways as Crusch exits the cell, leaving Wilhelm. Foyer's status...
There it is, leaving Wilhelm. Yep, there we go. We're approaching the spoiler section. Yeah. It's like 1 minute, right? What's the exact timestamp again? What's the exact timestamp? Let me know.
Is not good, to say the least. Him and Crusch go out to look at the flowers together.
Let me go back.
To the very spot appearance in Wallachia is confirmed, then the White Whale will appear in LUGUNICA in 6 months' time. They go their separate ways as Crusch exits the cell, leaving Wilhelm. Foyer's status is not good, to say the least. Him and Crusch go out to look at the flowers together again, to the very spot their relationship had bloomed.
Where it all started. Oh, this is so sad. Shit's sad as hell, bro. This shit sucks, dude. 2157, got you.
He tells her as much, saying that their running into each other was no coincidence, but something he had hoped for. His grand plan is to make Crusch his queen, and to have Ferris be their knight, so that they can always be together. He tells her all of this, as his energy slowly depletes. He asks her, "How did I do? Was I able to be a Lion King worthy of your devotion?" He runs a finger along her cheek, catching a tear rolling down her face, as he slowly succumbs to the disease that has been ravaging his life for the past year.
Damn. Yeah, okay, W Foryer, bro. That's a goat right there, man. Crazy, because like without the side stories, you just think it's just Crusch and Felix, but Foryer was there, bro. It's a trio. That's a trio, bro. Like, we only see the duo of Crusch and Felix now, but he was there, bro. Damn. That's so sad. That's so sad, bro.
He runs a finger along her cheek, catching a tear rolling down her face, as he slowly succumbs to the disease that has been ravaging his life for the past year. Crusch stares blankly as they announce that the entire royal family has died, and the higher-ups of the nation deliberate amongst themselves what comes next. To not just the council, but for the entire nation, Foyer's death was merely a footnote alongside the death of his father, who had met his end on the same day. Baron Lip Burial, a favorite of King Randahal, comes out and announces that there has been a new inscription upon the dragon tablet. This leaves people in shock. Bordeaux questions if they could even trust the tablet. Why did it not help save...
Stop here? Okay. Y'all saying 2157, that's why I was gonna like let him play the 2157. Do I just stop here? We skip? Skip now? Is there a couple more seconds or do I just skip right now, bro? Do I just skip right now? Let me know. Do we use dip? We dip the fuck out of here? 2240, right? Must have been the wind. Alright. Do I just go exactly like 2240? I'll probably just go right here.
In that darkness, she thinks that she sees Foyer's last smile as she is chosen by the jewel to run in the royal selection. Crusch tells Ferris that she aspires to be king of LUGUNICA, and her goal is to reclaim the kingdom from the dragon, who she thought had distorted the way the kingdom should be, and wants to see the Lion King thrive again. After
wants to see the Lion King thrive again, bro.
Foyer's death, she calls Wilhelm to her estate and tells him why Bordeaux went back on his word about helping slay the white whale.
Wait, fuck. It's fucking GG's. Wait, no, it's fucking GG's. You know why? It's the fact that she lost her memories, bro. Someone said it. No, I know someone said it, but I'm saying it's more GG's because of this right here. She wants to also become... The entire reason, right, like, of you know, wanting to also become a king, right, was for that, for Foryer. And that shit is gone, bro. It's all gone. That entire thing is fucking gone. Those memories, everything that built up to that moment is fucking gone, bro. Dude, yeah, Felix is alone right now, bro. Oh man, bro. She also she loses her memories and gets infected by Capella, bro. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. I actually hate Gluttony with passion. Yo, Tappe is ruthless, dude. Tappe is fucking ruthless. Yeah, I can see why Felix is like always feeling like that. This just gives so much more like context, bro. It makes you really just feel more like this. Like, damn, it just makes you feel more and like think about more about the current situation in the actual anime. You know what I mean? Like. That's rough, bro.
The way the kingdom should be, and wants to see the Lion King thrive again. After Foyer's death, she calls Wilhelm to her estate and tells him why Bordeaux went back on his word about helping slay the white whale. The entire royal family has been wiped out. He is shocked at first, and they discuss the nature of the task. Wilhelm asks for Crusch's hand in slaying the white whale, and she says that she finds it most unforgivable that the white whale has changed the way people live their lives, speaking directly to Wilhelm's quest for vengeance. Crusch knights Wilhelm and gives him her sword, as they vow to slay the white whale together. The Crusch side stories were so much better than I ever anticipated.
Wow.
The great dynamic between Crusch, Ferris, and Foryer, the interesting ideas and portrayal of gender identity, the revelation that Ferris is in possession now of such a powerful spell, and dear God, Foyer's death scene moved me. I set my expectations far lower than I usually do for a side story, but all of these went above and beyond what I hoped for. I would highly recommend reading these yourself, as I cannot do the ending of EX1 justice through a summary and a review video. I am super interested to see the future of the family of LUGUNICA plotline, especially knowing that Felt and Capella are out there and are the only surviving descendants. The holes in the plot to wipe out the entire family, who now stands with the sole desire to burn down the status quo. That's about it for Crusch though, as we head towards the Wilhelm side story content. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please remember to
What a video. What a fucking video. Yeah, Wilhelm stuff eventually too. Dude. Crazy. That was so good. Now, it was very fast paced. We did have to slow down the video even a little bit, but overall, this definitely gives way more context and just like makes me feel way more for the current situation, man. It was never just a duo. It was a trio, bro. Foryer, bro. That's so fucked. Like, the whole royal family dies. Foryer dies. Crusch wants to become, you know, the king for that, and she couldn't. Like, now she doesn't have the memories of that at all. That it's just like, oh my god, it's so rough, dude. Felix, how does Felix feel, bro? Like, I already knew it was bad enough, but after all this, bro, it's like Felix is in a way worse like mental state like than I thought. Like, I thought it was already fucking like bad, but like knowing this now, bro, imagine how he feels, bro. Yeah, the Crusch camp right now is just rough, bro. It's cooked. It's actually just fucking cooked, bro. Listen, bro, overall, bro, Asaratha, man, thank you so much for the video, bro. It was pretty fast paced, you know what I mean? It was pretty fast paced, but I was able to slow down the video a lot and, you know, pause and, you know, rewind and stuff and pretty much try and take in the information and stuff. So honestly, it's all chill, bro. You know what I mean? It's all chill. It was an overall good video, man, and I absolutely love the side stories. This was amazing, and it gave so much more context to the entire Crusch history, bro. Felix, Crusch, and Foryer, bro. It was just amazing. An amazing experience, bro. I absolutely loved it from start to finish, and we will definitely do more side stories because this shit was some peak, man. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video, man. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below if you want to check out more Research stuff. Check out the playlist, man, if you want to check out the uncut version to the episodes. Patreon. As always, have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.